Data migration, a 15-step process. Steps 1 and 2, strategy and sign-off.
A migration strategy is created for each data object. This is based on past IP and business rules. The rules in each strategy dictate the set of data to be migrated. Once created, each strategy is sent for review and then sign-off by the client.
Steps 3 and 4, selections and sign-off.
A selection is created for each data object. Its logic is based on the strategy created earlier in the migration. The selection extracts the sets of data needed for the migration from all legacy sources. Once created, each selection is sent for review and then sign-off by the client.
Steps 5 and 6, mapping and sign-off.
All fields relevant to the migration have to be mapped, from source data to their target field. Mapping the data correctly ensures legacy source data is loaded into the correct fields in the target system. Once mapped, each object is sent for review and then sign-off by the client.
Step 7, coding.
Objects are coded using the previously approved selections and mapping. Data quality checks and reference translations are also added. Once coded, we run the objects to create the load files. These load files will ultimately load the data into the target system. Each object is run and tested for correctness. Once reviewed, it is moved on to the next stage, test loading.
Step 8, test loading.
Once load files are generated, they are loaded into a test environment. Extra data quality checks and code updates are done as necessary. Test loading highlights and excludes any problematic data from the load in preparation for release into a production environment. Once we have the majority of data loading, we can move on to the next stage, creating the DM packages.
Step 9, DM package and release.
The DM package is a PDF document that tracks each object's migration. It records everything, including responsible person, mappings, and data quality. The DM package collates information that is needed for auditing purposes. It keeps it all in one convenient place for assessment and review. Once the DM package is completed, the object can be released to production. Any changes now follow a weekly development and release cycle.
Step 10, validation ROM review.
Once objects are released to production, data quality reports are created. The client reviews the reports and starts fixing data at source. The ROM reports highlight data quality errors by record and field. They help the client fix their data in a controlled and highly targeted manner. As we report on live data, reviewing ROM reports is ongoing until go live. Once the process is understood, objects are moved to the next stage.
Step 11, translation mapping.
The client maps source to target configuration using our TOM tables. Target values are presented in a drop-down menu, eliminating data entry errors. Config has to be mapped to current values in the target, or the load will break. We connect to the target daily and update TOM values, making mapping safe and easy. When the config in the target is updated, this is highlighted in ROM reports. ROM is reviewed daily, and config will be remapped as necessary.
Step 12, trials and validation.
The data objects are now ready for a trial load. This load replicates the go live. The files are loaded into a test environment, and the data is then validated. Trials are a good way to practice the go live and iron out all the processes. Any data or mapping issues found during validation can also be addressed. As more objects reach this stage of the migration, more trials can be done. The size and complexity of the project dictates the number of trials needed.
Step 13, DM package review.
The DM package tracks all criteria for each object. The client reviews to ensure this still aligns with business requirements. As a migration evolves over time, the requirements can change. This review ensures alignment between specification and need. Once the client is happy the DM package aligns with requirements, the object is signed off to the next stage, validation, data object sign-off.
Step 14, functional testing. This step tests the data is functionally correct. Can we create a new customer, update stock, or create a purchase order? The data is now good quality, mapped correctly, and loading. We also need to make sure all business processes run correctly. Once the object has been functionally tested, it is signed off to the final stage, 15, complete. Step 15, completion and go live. When an object is at step 15, all previous steps have been completed and signed off by business. All objects need to be at step 15 for a data migration to be ready for go live. Go live is the culmination of a data migration. Objects are loaded, data is verified, and the client moves to the new system.